I am Tan Hwee Hoon. I'm an Associate Professor of Organisational Behaviour, Human Resource Management at the Lee Kong Chian School of Business at the Singapore Management University. My area of research is trust in the workplace, and I'm very interested in why people trust, how people trust, and what the implications for organisations when people trust each other. I am currently involved in a longitudinal study that has been happening over the last 3 to 4 years. I'm trying with a bunch of researchers in the US to do work on cross-cultural trust. We have collected data from almost 20 countries, and we are about ready to analyze them. So that is the exciting moment, because that's where you say, this is what we find, and is that in line with the hypothesis that we have. In the literature at large, the understanding is that people trust because of 3 big factors. 1, because you trust the person whose ability is high, who's very competent in the workplace. 2, you trust people who have good intentions towards you, people who, covers your back, people who will back you up whenever things happen. 3, you trust people who have integrity, people who walk the talk, people who, are reliable. And what we are hoping to do is to see if the 3 different factors vary across the cultures and how they vary. On my previous work, we found that actually the ability, benevolence, integrity varies across cultures in different saliency. Meaning, we found that in Asia, people focus a lot on the benevolence of the relationship. So I would trust somebody who's benevolent towards me, who will look after my welfare and my interests. And that's more important than how competent the person is, what values the person has. In the US, of course, we found that ability is more important. So we're hoping to understand that so that, it will help countries, people across cultures learn how to interact better with each other. I think when the organization understands what it means to build trust with each other, it's going to help, particularly MNCs, understand how their people can work across boundaries, across values that they hold very dear to. Trust actually is a very important attribute in an organization. Why is that so? Because if you think about it, in an organization that is trusting, when people have built a culture of trust, there is what we call psychological safety. Right? Psychological safety is key for people to be creative, to share ideas, and to spread and collaborate, interesting thoughts. When there's no psychological safety, people wonder what others would think of them. People wonder if they're going to be valued. So when there's trust, there's psychological safety, it will have a great impact on the organizational culture and on what we call justice. People will feel safe enough to voice their views, and that makes for a more vibrant organization. So from an HR perspective, I think we need to encourage people to learn how to help and trust each other so that there will be more collaboration across the different groups, especially in organizations now where a lot of us are very siloed. We don't understand and know of our colleagues as well enough to want to collaborate. I think there's a lot of implications. Why? Because in this world of ours where there's a lot of strife and a lot of distrust, understanding what makes people be willing to be vulnerable to you is going to have a lot of impact at the workplace. And some research has shown that, the higher the trust is, the less stress you have, the more productive you are, and the happier you are at work. And that is what I believe organizational behavior to be all about. It's about helping people be happy where they work, and a strong foundation of trust is central to happiness at work, in my mind. I think what will happen is it will provide a lot of insights on how people can better interact and work with each other across cultures.